Hi everyone, my name is Alex Shellhaas, Senior Product Manager here at Cavallo, and today we're going to talk about how to use credit limits in your workflow so that you can make sure that you're not giving away margin or selling products to customers that owe you more than you'd like. Let's dive into the tips and tricks. So the first thing that you're going to want to do within Cavallo is go to the customer screen, and when you get here, you're going to see this About tab. From here, you can always kind of constantly monitor kind of the credit limit that you want to be offering each of your customers. You can edit that and modify that on a customer by customer basis. So as customers, you may be comfortable with some customers owing you more. And then in other situations, you may want to have the customer owe you less. And by leveraging this field right here, you can actually use this more dynamically within your workflow to make sure that you're not giving away too much and selling product to customers that you don't want to sell product to. So once you go into the workflow setup screen, we can just go into orders, and there's actually a couple of different ways to set this up and manage this. The first way is actually right from kind of the routing with the documents. Right here, you can see my paths. I've got drop shipping, rush picking, manually shipped, allocate inventory. What we could do is add an alternate path and just name this path a credit check path. And what we'll do in order to use this is check a field from the customer and just use the balance due. And so from here, what I want to do is say if the balance due is, I could say equal to, more than, whatever that is. I'm going to select is more than another field from the customer and their credit limit. Now, what this is going to do is say, hey, if a document and a customer have a high balance and it's more than their credit limit, let's go ahead and move this document to the appropriate spot. We could just go ahead and create a credit check queue, add that new queue, and this queue is going to appear here. And now anytime that I have a document that needs credit check, it's going to be routed to my credit check queue. So that's one way to set it up. The second way that you can set this up is actually with business rules. And so let's go ahead in here, and I've kind of pre-configured this a little bit for us here. I have a new business rule that says credit check. I want to describe it as just simply a credit check, and the same basic configuration can be done here. So I can say if a field from the customer, the balance due is more than, and in this situation, I set a certain number, so I just wanted to make this say, all right, I'm going to check if any of my customers owe me more than $1,000. I don't want the document to be moved forward. But we know just practically that there's exceptions to that. So we're going to update this and say a field from the customer, if balance due is more than another field from the customer, their credit limit. Now, require that to go through an approval process. But what you could do is, add more conditions to this, but only do that for large orders. And that might look like, hey, a field from the order, the document total is more than a certain number. And then you could do $1,000 if you'd like, right? So if the customer owes me more than $1,000 or than their credit limit and the document total is over $1,000, require this document to go through an approval process. And you can see I'm the only person that has the ability to approve this exception. So anytime that somebody's working on this document, I'll get a notification that says, hey, I need to actually address this document. There's something here for me to check. So that's the second way to set this up. And those are two really easy ways to use credit limits within your workflow. If there's anything else that you'd like us to cover, feel free to leave a comment below.